Hello and welcome, creators of the Creatorverse. So today's video, I'm actually going to be doing a navigation through the Upland interface. So if you've been playing this game for a little bit, or if you're really new to it, this is a great video for you to watch because I'm going to go over some of the things you may have not know within the interface of this game. So let's go ahead and jump onto it. All right, so right now I'm actually into the main screen here. This is just me logging in, and I'm scrolling in and scrolling out. So I'm using my mouse. And I'm telling you this so you can actually understand how I'm moving around. So with my left click, I'm just scrolling in and out. But with right click, I can actually rotate. So if I hold down the right click on the mouse, I can actually move this a certain angle. So for instance, I'm gonna go click on this little chess player on the very bottom. This is gonna take me straight to my block explorer. And as you can see here, I'm actually in the water, but I'm going to go ahead and scroll out a little bit. If for some reason I don't like this angle, I can actually hold down the right click on the button on the mouse and just move this around and tilt it at certain angles if you want to see. So I just wanted to show you that. But let's start off with the very top. So let me scroll this out a little bit so it's not too crazy. So up top you have your profile. This is up here on the top left. You see my name, Judge Imps. You click on that. It's going to open up your player profile. And then I'm going to go ahead and close out of that here. Then we have the UPX on the very top. Let me get this so you can see it a little better. UPX, or the UPX. I always call it UPX. I don't know why, but let's just call it UPX. So UPX is shows your current balance, and then we have on the right hand side here, Get UPX. You click on that. Depending on if you're on your mobile phone or if you're on the desktop, you'll get different options, because I don't think on the phone I've seen 24,000. I think it's only on the mobile or on the web page. So that's another thing you're gonna know. Later on when you're looking, if you're playing this game mobile, you're gonna see some of the options to buying properties would say available on the web. They mean just using the desktop version. So that's what that means there. All right, so the next thing is your current rent earnings. So that's this little spot here. Actually, let me click this. So I have my little current, so right underneath the Get UPX, you'll click on here. So right now you'll see my rent earnings, and this is what I have here if you want to go ahead and collect them. So I'm going to collect all my earnings. Made my 5 UPX for the day. Not a whole lot, but hey, I'm starting. All right, close out of that. The next thing you're going to see is the time underneath it. Now you have 3 hours to the next time you can collect. And then we have this little calendar, and this calendar right here, if you click on this, is going to allow you to see what's on the news and events. So they actually change it. So the time of you watching this, a lot of these things have changed. Like before, they had different menus. The block explorer looks a little different, but I'm just going to give you the brief overview so you can actually understand. Because at one point before, even like on your Explorer, your block explorer itself, there used to be a little icon next to it that would tell you how many properties were around, but now they don't have that. So things do change. But again, just having a better understanding of what this whole thing's about. All right, so now we have this little icon underneath the calendar. Click on here, it's going to take you to the store. So this is the same thing as you click on the Get UPX, because it's going to show you the specials or whatever they have. So right now they're promoting the legits. So like, for instance, you see this little football legit here. So if I click on Get UPX, I can also click on specials. It'll take me to the same thing right there as well. So they're just doing that because they're doing a promotion. So I don't know if this button's going to stay there or not, but that's what it is for right now. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go clockwise. So the next one right here is this little pin icon on the very bottom right, the top of the 3. This is your point of interest. So it activates the control between the borders, the collection borders. It gives you the names of other interesting points and stuff like that. So let me navigate this and scroll this a little further here. So I'm going to show you. If I scroll this out here, and once I click on the little point of interest, it's going to show you the borders. So now it's going to tell you this is the certain area, this is the county, like this is Parkside up here. If I scroll in a little further, it's going to give you more point of interest. It's going to tell you a little more things inside of it. So if I uncheck that, you can see how it removes those things. So like right now it says Parkside Square, Pine Lake, Rhoda Goldman Concert Meadow. So if I unclick it, it gets rid of it. So it kind of helps you out. So this is really good to know when you're actually doing collections. So there might be a time where it's going to say, hey, there's going to be a collection or a treasure hunt that you need to do, or something that's in Westwood Park. So you need to know that all the properties in Westwood Park right here. So like if you had a collection, you would make sure you get there. Now I'll go into collections here in just a second. So the next thing you're going to have is the property nearby, which is underneath this point of contact or point of interest. So that's this button here. And this is going to show you all the properties nearby, and you can sort it by the price, lowest to highest. And the thing that you want to understand here, this is what helps you out later on. So if you're buying properties and you want to see the floor value, so what you can do right now, if I scroll out like this right here, anything that's on my desktop, all these properties are going to show up inside this. So this is going to be a lot of properties. You're going to see how I keep on growing. Like you see the little marker here, this little toggle how it just keeps on going because there's a lot of properties in there. However, now if I zoom in and we only have, let's see here, let it load up, go a little closer. There's no properties. Okay, so there's no properties right there. That wasn't available. So let me go down here. All right, so you're gonna see here, so you have these properties. So now if I click on the property button again, now you're gonna see there's 44 properties on sale. Now if I scroll in a little further, click it again, now you see there's only 6 properties on sale. So the reason why you would do that would be, for instance, like say for instance, if this is your property you want to buy or you want to purchase, whatever, you see that this is selling for 500,000. Well, if you want to, you can just go scroll around a little further so you get some properties so you can have like a guesstimate. So if I click now, I can see what the lowest one is. So the next property is 7,500 or 75,000, 75,000. So that 500,000 was a lot, but at least it gives me an idea. So like I know what I can sell my property for, or what should I be buying property for in that area. So for instance, if I know that this one is, up to, let's like a 58 size property size. Well, I know the next one that's selling for the same thing that's next door. This is just one little, and the up to, it's kind of like the square footage, but with the virtual land. So these two are really close to each other in size. I mean, just one property size smaller, but that's 500,000 versus the one that is 150,000. So if you wanted to buy property, this is the best way to check that out. All right, so now that you know that, then you have the search function on the very bottom right. Let me move this so you can see it better. And the search function, when you click that on there, you can actually just click a location. So if you know there's a certain spot you want, like I want to take a look at, and I always use Broadway. Actually, I should say Boardwalk, because we like Boardwalk. So there's no Boardwalk in there, but we can do Broadway or anything I just type in, doesn't matter. If the address is available, I can click on it and it'll take me there. Now, here's a cool thing to learn, and the reason why I'm going to show you this is so when you have properties, for instance, I have property right now that, and it took me to the address, by the way, just nothing was there. So what I'll tell you right now, I click on my little icon here and I go to my properties. So you're gonna see the properties that I own. So like for instance, if I see this 147 Gainsborough court, so if I click on that, it takes me to my property. Now the thing is, since it took me to my property, I can't zoom out and look at the other property values. So if I wanted to sell mine or put an offer in, I couldn't sell it that way. So what I would do now instead would be click out of that. I would actually go into here and then type in 147 Gainsborough court. And now this is going to take me to my property. It didn't. Sometimes it has a little bug. It doesn't work all the time. 147 Gainsborough. There we go. So now it's taking me to my property. And the reason why you want to do a search that way is, again, if I want to start looking around. So the first time when I clicked property, it took me right there and I couldn't move around. I couldn't see anything else. But with me doing it this way, I can actually search around. I can buy property nearby or do whatever I need to do. So that's how the search function ends there, uses that right there. The next one we're going to talk about is your jump back to your Explorer. So now that we're over here, I want to go back to my Explorer. So I'm going to click on the little chess pawn icon on the very bottom left. And now it zooms me back to my Block Explorer. So that's how you do that there. The next thing is the main menu. So on this screen here, if you wonder where the main menu it is, it's going to be these three little dots. And then with here, there's a lot of different stuff inside the main menu. You can go ahead and take a look at your properties. You can take a look at your collections, your messages. So anytime you put in an offer for some property, or somebody's going to put an offer to you, your messages will come there. When I first played this game, I signed up with somebody's referral bonus because I saw a YouTube video. So I click on here. It's going to show you. So I signed up. I played this. This is my 4th day or 5th day in this game. So 4 days ago, I became an Uplander by Drazo, and I used his code, and I got a 25,000 upix. All right, going a little further here, treasures. So let's take a look at the properties again. So properties, if you click on this, it shows you your properties that you have. Then you can see your sent offers that you made. So I had some sent offers here, and then I'm going to exit out of this. The next thing you'll see is the collection. So these are going to be collections that you can go ahead and hunt for inside your the area. So within this navigation through here, you can see the little bottom globe. This tells you what area that you're in. So right now I'm in San Francisco, but if I want to see the ones that I have in Cleveland, I can click here, and then it's going to show you the ones that I have in Cleveland. So I have like King of the Street in Cleveland, Newbie in Cleveland. I got a couple parts in Glenville. I'm a Clevelander. So let's go back to San Francisco because that's where I'm at. So now here's some properties I need to find in San Francisco. So I need to get 3 properties in San Francisco. So this would be my next collection that I want to work on. So if I hit edit collection, if I click on my properties, well, it's going to show you here if there's any properties that I had that fits inside of San Franciscan, it would show right here. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to go click back to Cleveland, so you can actually see so I can give you an example. So if I click on the edit collection, so it's going to show you all the properties that I have that matches this. So once I know that it matches, I can hit click here. So I'm going to uncheck these, and it's okay. We're going to take these out. All right, so now you can see that I don't have this collection anymore. So I collected it, but I'm not getting, so when I collected this means I got whatever the reward was, but I'm not getting the extra boost. So the goal of this, you definitely want to get the extra boost. It's going to help you out with your monthly rental. You'll get a lot more bonuses on that. So, but now if I want to go ahead and get this collection, I can actually see if I have properties in that collection. So I click on edit. So it's going to put up all the properties that I have that show up in there. So if I want to add this to this collection, I just tap to fill. All right, and hit done. So now you see it's there. So now it's active. Now the next thing to do is like, okay, so let's go take a look at Union Miles Park. Well, if I hit edit collection, it's going to show you, do I have any matching properties? I do not. So now here's the next thing. If I wanted to know what properties that I can probably get, I'd click on other properties here. So it's going to tell me, so all these, you're going to see the little icon that's green, means these are all for sale. So if I want to purchase any of these properties, I can get 3 of these properties, and if I purchase 3 of those properties, it's going to give me that 600 UPX reward, and it's going to give me a 1.3 times bonus. So this is really important to know, because I personally love like filling out all these things. So like all the times I play video games in the past, I always try to check off all the little boxes. So like if there was a world that I was in and it had like, 5 of 5 things you need to get or treasure hunt, I wouldn't leave. I'd keep on going back until I had all 5 before I went to the next place. I'm OCD like that. So some of these I can do and some I can't, because like right now some of these properties, like for instance Public Square, hit collection. If I take a look here, so like Public Square, I click on this, you'll see here. And look how much that person's selling it for. And just some of these I can't do because I just don't have the UPX in order to purchase them. So here's another one, Public Square. Let's take a look at this property. Another 100. So Sotheby's, that person's you take a look here. He's probably a chief executive. 484 million. So this person has a lot of properties, and they're just gonna keep on making more money because you see there how much they're selling their properties for. So this person probably got in really early and it's doing the right thing. I mean, this is a tycoon. So, but that's how the collection works. So I'm gonna go back into this section here. Take a look at treasures. We go into the treasures. You can take a look at what's active, what's charging, so you know that in just a few moments that these, when these get ready, you can actually go ahead and start working on the treasure hunts. And we'll have another video inside one of these playlists here of how to actually do treasure hunts. And then you can take a look at the history to see how well you did, and you see how other people done as well. All right, click out of that. Next button here, we'll look at the leaderboards if you want to know, who the leaders are for certain events. So let's click on that. The visitors, completed collections, so you can get an idea of, like the trades. Like, let's take a look here. So this person did a trade. Rob Cov. All right, get out of there. I just want to show you these so you understand. I mean, it's kind of cool to see some of this stuff here. And you look at your assets. So these are all the assets that I have. If you go to properties, you can scroll down here. And this is the same thing when you click on your profile picture. So I don't have none of these things, so they're not going to show up. So, but if I go to my profile, I can actually go take a look at my assets that way as well. And you'll see, do I have any structures? No. Do I have any block explorers? No. So I don't have any other things. But once I start getting them, you will see them in there. So here's an example. I'm going to actually scroll till I see, like this guy's a director. I saw the letter D next to him. So I'm assuming, I hate to assume. All right, where did he pop up? Let's go ahead and click on him. So a lot of times you'll see somebody that, if they're a director or something like that, usually they've been playing this game to get a couple of these assets, whatever. I'm just assuming because I have no idea if people want to collect them or not. So you see the collections that this person has. They've got City Pro, Newbie, King of the Street. And you just scroll through and see what other collections that this person may own. And then you can also click on assets. And you'll see here, does this person have any structures? Yes, they do. So he has a small townhome. So you go click on his property and you see that little townhome is built there. So let's click on his name again. Click on assets, go back to structures, go back to block explorer. So now he has this one block explorer called the passport. So he picked this one up. This is an NFT, 116 out of 568. Pretty cool. pretty cool thing. So if I want to go ahead and offer them a trade, I could do that as well. If I want to trade something that I own for that passport, because some of these are really cool, especially when you start coming around like holidays, you get certain characters uploads. If you have NFTs you want to upload, you can go ahead and do that as well. NFL legits. So look, this person has a lot of NFL legits. So let's take a look at one of these legits that he has here. So you can see. So he has a Steven Means Essentials. I'm going to expect the legit. All right, so just tell me I can click on this, move it around, take a look. So there you go. That's how you actually take a look at a person's profile. I'm gonna click out of this here and go back to my profile by clicking this little, actually clicking on the chest icon. It takes me right back to me. All right, next we have the NFL PA legits, which what we were talking about earlier. So you can take a look at the stadiums. You can take a So this is some cool stuff in here. Just make yourself comfortable. For the main thing is like you just go through these here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'm actually going to show you here the settings. This is what when I say this is really important. So in the setting here, you can actually go to your profile, do what you have to do on there. But the one thing that I go in here quite often is to toggle off the show owner celebrations. I turn off the 3D objects. I turn off enhanced graphics during a new city release, so that way it doesn't slow down my computer down. But for the most part, I'll just turn them on. It's kind of neat because I'm not buying tons of properties, so it's kind of cool to see the little celebration come up. If you ever want to go back to the tutorial, you click on here again. You can start the tutorial. You can learn a little more. So let me go ahead and let this load here. So if for some reason you forgot something, that's what my videos are for, to help you out. But you can always go into the tutorials and watch them that way. So let me see if I can skip this once it starts here. And then we're going to go to the last part where we'll finish it off with looking at the color properties. And once you understand the color properties, we'll be good to go. All right, skip tutorial. Go ahead and I can watch it another time. Go to settings. So you have your profile. You got the challenges. If there's any challenges that I've accepted. And next, go in here to the store, which takes you again to the legit. So that's the third way of getting to the store. Then we have the portal. So the Upland collectibles. So if you want to add your wallets, you can add your crypto wallets in that way. All right, so the last thing I'm going to talk about is looking for locked properties, color properties. So just to give you a breakdown of the color properties. So if you're new to this, you're going to see we have, actually let me go to, I'm wide this out. And let's go in this area here. All right, so I'm going to scroll down a little further. So you'll see these properties. Anything that's in blue, light blue, means that it's actually purchased. It's been minted. And when we say minted, means that it's been bought off the blockchain. So an unminted property would be shown up as gray. And an unminted property that's gray means that it was never purchased before. So it still belongs to Upland. So once you click on it, it puts it into the blockchain, and then you become the owner. You're the first person that mints it. It puts it onto the blockchain status. Now, as far as a light blue, means someone bought it. You can take a look at the person, who it is, who owns it. This person here charges 40 UPX or UPX to go to his property, and it looks like he's had quite a few people visit this place, so he's made some money. Made a couple $100 or a couple hundred UPX just for people traveling to his location. But again, that's what blue means. And then you have dark green. Dark green means these are properties that are owned and they are for sale. So depending on what they want to sell it for, you have to take a look. You'll see right here it says UPX price. Now, if you're on your mobile device and you'll see if it says available on the web, it just means they're probably selling it for cash, and you can only get it, see it when you go into the desktop or a browser instead of your mobile game. The next one would be light green, and we're not going to see any light green here because light green would happen to be a property that's unminted, or a property that's for sale that has been unminted. Sorry, an unminted property that was for sale that my character, my block explorer, has to go over. So like for instance, this block explorer, you see how that he's moving. So if my block explorer is in a certain area that I can purchase that property, it'll actually light up light green. So that's what that means here. So I know this is a long video, but these are things you definitely should know as a beginner. We'll click on this little button up top here. It just puts me to the center of where I was. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You learn a few things. I had fun doing this because, again, the more that you play around with these buttons, the better you'll get, because you'll start saying, okay, I didn't know that I had this option, didn't have this option. Like, for instance, when I found out about taking off the Explorers and 3D. So if your computer is really slow, so the 3D graphics, enhanced graphics, it'll be better to do it that way if your internet's slow or whatever, or if you're just traveling. For instance, sometimes if I'm specifically looking for airplanes, the paper airplanes, which are the Sens, that's how you travel back and forth to get 11 of those a day. If for some reason I wanted to look for those, I'll turn off the direct, or I'll turn off the block explorers, and I'll turn off the buildings and all that stuff, because I don't want to see them. I just want to see just the paper airplanes, so that way I can get it as quick as I can. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this. I had fun making it. I got a lot more videos. Be sure to subscribe. I got a lot of cool stuff coming, not just Upland. I have some other stuff that I talk about. So if you're a creator, you want to start making blogs, YouTube videos, or whatever it is, and you want to start working on NFTs, because there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that's going to happen, especially in the Creatorverse, metaverse. And I want to be one of the guys to help you out, share my journey with you, and I'm learning it with you. So if there's stuff definitely come aboard. I want to build a community. You can help me out. If there's some tricks and tips you've seen that I didn't mention, put it in the comments below. I'll add them for the next video. All right, see you in the Upland.